know nothing about wine. People be like, "Oh, you like sweet?" I don't know. It's a grape. I don't know.
And to be completely honest with you, what a lot of people don't know is that wine does not come sweet. They have to make it sweet. That's why you know the additives. Okay. So wines are not naturally sweet. You really just have like the when they ask you like the levels of them and like the strengths of them. When they say, "Oh, do you like the drier ones?" They're really pretty much all dry, but you have to make them sweet. Because when I first started loving my wines, I used to always be like, "Well, I'm gonna sweet," and they'd be like, "Huh?" Right. And I'm like, I'm gonna say it's sweet, and it was like, this is the sweetest we got, and it'll still be dry. But,
and have that sour taste.
But as I got older and started to appreciate wine, I started realizing why you pair it, and why is this and why is that. So that is what I'm trying to bring to you guys, is to give what I learned to y'all, and to celebrate. How many followers we got right now? 1,000.
I got 1.2K
followers. 1.2K
yes.
followers. And I'm now part of the family. Yes. I wanted the very first show. So y'all know, if you know me, you know I am obsessed with Issa Rae. Okay, I am manifesting. Listen here, y'all. I am manifesting. Me and Issa Rae gonna sit down and talk business one day.
I know that's right.
I don't care what nobody say. Me and her gonna sit down and talk business. Issa, if you hear me, sis,
hit us up.
Hit me up. I'm trying to come and chill with you. So I wanted my very first show to be in celebration of her wine, which is the Via Ray Prosecco, which Prosecco is a sparkling wine. I am a bubbles girl. A lot of people aren't, but I am. Bubbles just give me that fanciness. Sometimes I can be sitting in the house having a bad week. I open up a glass of bubbles, baby. I feel like a baby. Sitting on my couch. So I wanted us to all celebrate and just manifest good things this year for the show, for us, for everything within our personal lives. I'm like, you know what? Let me start with this. I'm gonna do some Via Ray, and I got this awesome glasses, so I'm real particular about what I drink. Everything in. So
what kind of glasses is this? Can you pass it so I can show
you? So you all get one. This one as well. This is a coupe glass.
Let me see that again.
A coupe.
With a P?
QVC. Yes. Okay, because I sounded like I was about to say cock.
Yes. Please don't say cock.
I want to say cock. It's a coupe glass, y'all.
Coupe, gotcha.
With a P. With a P. Yes, it's a coupe
like
glass.
Car.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense, guys.
Yes. So it is a coupe glass. So these are like really coming back inside. Yes. No, I want to.
She want to pop the cork.
Yeah, I want to pop the cork
on
my
top.
Yes.
Is it true that that's good luck when you pop it?
Yes. So actually, what you're supposed to do, how my aunt and my mom used to always do, everybody had to tap it. Okay. And I just
every.
Yeah, just tap it.
That was special. Every black person, every hood.
everybody did that. Come on, Miss Marie, you got to tap.
No matter what the bottle is, here tap this.
It don't matter. Even if it was that nasty hen, you got to tap
the bottle.
And so I was like, you know what? Like, what better way to manifest good things with this? Like I said, it's a prosecco. It's a sparkling. I do have it chilled, which sparkling should be chilled. But the coupe glass, honestly, was first introduced in like the 1700s.
Okay.
And it was for the royals. So this is what they had at all of their fancy functions, like to be sitting up there, talking about diplomatic shit and shit. So please, y'all, if I take my eye out, make sure
you know how to open it without doing that?
No, but
you want me? That's why I was asking if you wanted me to.
No, I think I got it a little bit.
I can do it, but
let her pop her. She want to pop the first one. Pop the top.
I don't know what you're doing.
No, so wait.
Got it.
Hey!
She got that.
Here is a funny story about the coupe glass, y'all. So as it was debunked. Let me just start off saying that it was debunked, but it was originally stated that the coupe glass was designed after Marie Antoinette's left titty.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
She didn't have much, but damn.
I was about to say, she didn't have much of a titty.
So supposedly her husband wanted a glass in the shape of her left boob. I guess he was upset with the left boob. So you left boob dudes, hey, this is for you. So supposedly this is supposed to be the shape of her left boob and to drink to good health. So that's what it's supposed to be. But it was debunked because the timelines do not match up with the time that it came out, and you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with that being said, we are all going to.
I wonder, do you feel honored when you want your husband want a glass made out of your titty?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I kind of feel like, bro, if you want to walk around with my titty in your back pocket, go right ahead.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd rather my titty than another bitch titty.
So she must have had some A- cups though.
This is a small glass she got right here.
Thank you.
So I want everybody to pour up.
Yes, because we got to sip on.
Yeah, we got to sip. I originally wanted to do like mimosas because that's another thing you guys are going to learn about me. I am a mimosa head, okay? Big, huge mimosa head. But I wanted us to appreciate. I wanted us to appreciate the actual taste of Prosecco first before we get to doing all of the additives or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I just want us to all lift our glasses and I want us to just manifest good vibes. You know, The show's going to do great. We're going to do great. So,
yes. Cheers to that. A great show. Great everything. Cheers. Thank you. Ooh, the bubbles. Ooh. Mm. I feel like I need to put my pinky out with this. Like
you do.
The pinky up.
The pinky up. So this is definitely on the drier side.
Mm-hmm. I like them too, though.
Yeah.
It's got a nice taste to it.
Yeah, it does have a nice taste. It's not sweet, but
a great little smell. You know,
I feel like
wine. You're in the wines too. How do you think?
I was gonna listen to the professional first.
Well, I'm not a professional, but based off of like the palate of it, I can definitely see this with like with a whitefish.
Okay.
She
being paired up.
Shit.
I know that's
big ass words. I wouldn't like to sound smart.
The pairing and everything, I like that.
I do feel like this is a great congratulatory Prosecco. Like, you know, you have your table wines and then you have things you just sit around and kick it with your girls with. But definitely like an anniversary or a birthday or if you're just celebrating life, I think this is really good for that. But then again, like I told you, I'll open up a bottle of bubbles just to be feeling good.
Yeah, I was saying I could drink this like every
day.
Like
every day on some old. But me, if you like, once y'all come over to the new house, you're gonna see I have a wall full of wine, and they all serve a purpose.
No,
I have my everyday wines where you know, like B will be like. It's like literally in the back of the refrigerator. After work, I come home, I take a glass, and I'll be cool. But something like this, I would definitely do it like for our housewarming that's going to be coming up soon. I would do something like that just to toast. But I really like it. I think it's a sophisticated taste. Yes, Issa, sis.
I like it.
Invite me over.
I definitely like. You know what it reminds me of when we went to the melting pot. I think that's what the wine they have there is a Prosecco, and that was the first time I ever had it there.
Yeah,
and I really fell in love with it because it went really good with the variety. And if you haven't been to the melting pot, definitely check them out. Go hungry because it's a 4-course meal, but it's worth every bit of it. So I think this is actually great. I like this. I like this to start.
And real quick, just so you know, the price point on the Prosecco is it's only sold at Target, and it is about $19.99. So depending on where you go, it's between $19.99 and $21.99. So I feel like the price point is great. It's not super expensive, and it's something good just to have around your house. And like I said, when you're chilling with your girls. You know, celebrate or just because
watching Insecure.
Watching Insecure.
Issa, please bring
it back. We miss it. That was me and Q shot. She does. She has a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, she has a lot of different projects going on. I just feel like
I'm sure she would want you guys to get into her new stuff.
Yeah,
I'm sure that she just wants me to be a part of her team. That's what I'm sure about. Because, like I said, I'm manifesting. Me and her gonna sit down. We gonna have brunch and we gonna discuss business. That's what I'm manifesting. Me and Ms. Issa about to be tight. Okay,
I know that's right.
I'm just saying. Let's bring that
out there in the air for you too. Because Issa knows she employs some independent writers.
Yes,
her whole team.
Of course, I will write for whoever's ass. I don't give a shit.
So.
I'll put my all into one of them.
All the shows, right?
I don't watch them particularly,
but you'll put everything into it.
I will put my heart and soul in it.
I feel it. So I'm gonna jump into my original banter, and then we're gonna get into our topic while we got something to sip on. So last night, because this wasn't even my banter, y'all, I kind of changed it up. I was scrolling on Facebook. One of my friends, I will leave the name hidden. Posted this social media meme of this young lady that it said the guy proposed to her And the way he proposed was he paid her student loan of $70K debt off. She was saying thank you to the guy, but she said, I still want a ring. And now what really made me feel like I got to talk about this was the individual that I posted this was like, oh, that's real lightweight, low. He could have just took that money and got her a ring. Now, as I was kind of discussing it a little bit with Skip, I was like, now 40-year-old Kiana, who is an entrepreneur, generational wealth knowledge now, is like, fuck yeah, this man just paid off my student loan debt. Mm-hmm. My credit just went up. Mm-hmm. I don't care about this. You could give me a fake ring and I'd be happy. Mm-hmm. But Skip made a very good point. He said, take yourself out of 40-year-old experience, Kiana, and put yourself in 20-something-year-old Kiana that doesn't have that experience. Mm-hmm. How would you feel? And I said, shit, that is a great question because I don't know. So I want to ask y'all, how would you feel as it beyond our business ventures right now? Mm-hmm. Put yourself back in the younger you. How would you feel if somebody did that?
I would be happy.
Yeah.
Because, hey, listen, hold up. Let me keep it a buck. Mm-hmm. I had sugar daddies when I was younger. Right. In college, I lived out in Orwell and Rome, Ohio, and Windsor. Mm-hmm. I took them from Windsor. That was the Tyson County. I took them from Windsor. My granddad was like, boop, I didn't know it was going to be like that. And so I ended up out in Orwell raising horses and pigs. And I had a cat and a dog with me for normal companionship because, horses. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so, but the owners of the horses were all older men. Mm. I'm just saying, I was a Kent State Trumbull student. Shout out to Kent State Trumbull. Right. Okay. But they were all, and they paying $200 a month, to house their horses and all that stuff. I was taking care of the horses, and they was taking care of me too.
I know that's right.
I know that's right.
Period.
I know that's right.
So I feel like
I had vehicles. I had like 3. I had a big truck. I had an S10, and I had a Chevette.
Oh, they was sugar daddy. You over there?
So yeah, man, I understand because I didn't think about that. Like,
okay, so you didn't think about it.
So I mean, I do feel like if you go back to your 20-something-year-old brain, we're a little bit more materialistic, and we feel like we need those trinkets to prove something to people.
Yeah,
and I think that now. In our 38, my 38-year-old brain, because I'm trying to buy a house and my credit is trash, and because credit is so important now, and because you need better financial.
They cheat that when they keep on credit.
So, right, exactly. Yeah. So because we need all those things now, my brain was like, oh hell yeah, give me my $70,000 because I need that. But when I think about when I was out here, I need.
You can't go around and show everybody your receipt.
You cannot. You can, but my student loans paid. No, because unfortunately, we feel like we need this validation from society to prove that someone fucks with us or to prove that we mean something to somebody. Mm-hmm. So now that $70,000 bill, like that $70,000 student loan is great. But back then, we don't give a fuck about no damn student loan. Mm-hmm. We'll get paid. We'll pay that $5 a month for the rest of our lives. I need this ring to show that you fuck with me.
Yeah.
I need these hoes to know that you fuck with me. And it's just like... So I get both sides, and we gotta remove ourselves. Like we have to remove ourselves from our more mature brain because back then we didn't give a fuck about no damn student loan.
And when Skip pointed that out, I was like, damn, he is right. I was like, I probably would have wanted the ring. I would have been like, thank you, but I need to show my girls. I need to post a video. I need to, look at this.
To do this.
I can't do this with student loans paid off. Yeah. So it was like, I kind of did, once you put it in that perspective, I kind of did think about it.
That's why, even still, with all that being said, on dude's side, bro, you could have got, like you said, you could have got a fake ring, bro. You could have got some cheap shit.
Walmart.
It's like, you could have got something cheap as fuck.
Walmart.
And it would have went over just fine. Because it's like, hey, man, this student loans are paid off. Like, who gives a fuck about what this ring? It's like, it looked big and sparkly. That's all that mattered for real anyway. Like, outside of that, it's like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
and the crazy thing is you're right, because he could have got a cheap ring and then put the receipt for the student loans in the box. That would have gave him more of a, oh my God. You
so
were
now
the shit.
I have to ask the question.
Okay.
Why is there so much weight on having a physical ring? Like, if the love is really there,
I don't care if it's a shoestring around my finger.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If the love is truly, really there, does the actual physical ring even really matter? So with everybody saying like, yeah, he could have did this and that, it was just like, but did he really? Because you got some relationships that last, longer than these TV series that they didn't even have a ring.
Yeah.
And they've been married for 50, 60 years, and they finally didn't get a ring until their 45th year. You know what I'm saying? And they've been rocking it. So do you feel like as a people, we are putting too much of an emphasis on the
material
stuff?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The truth is, we've just been brainwashed. We like generations deep and brainwashed about that shit.
I think so, yeah.
But we just brainwashed. That's all it really is. Like,
y'all see this thing here? This little nugget, this 20 years.
I know that's right.
I don't give a damn if it's a shoestring. You know
because that's your man, that's your one, that's your that's your one. So it's just like, and it's so crazy that we're even talking about this because I saw a post where I don't know if you sent it to me, but a woman and her dude been together. No, my niece actually posted it. She posted where this guy and this woman have been together for 14 years, and the original ring that he bought her was probably, I think, $20 from like some random store. Mm-hmm. And he had posted how he was finally grateful that he was able to buy her the ring that she deserved. And everybody was like, oh, what took 14 years to get her the ring that she deserved? And it was just like, that woman is so fucking happy with that $20 ring. And it's just like, while y'all still chasing little Puka Snoop, and
Walmart,
you worrying about this woman and her healthy, happy 14-year relationship and her final 14-year upgraded ring. But that 20, guess what? That $20 ring, she put it with the new upgraded ring because it was more appreciation in the fact that he just wanted her to have something, but he said I finally was able to give her what she deserved. And I was just like,
all them naysayers need to worry about them Traptavions and them Walmart tables.
Yeah, and little pencil starter. Like, he don't even want to get married, and you worried about that. And I'm just like, I feel like these what's the things called, the TV shows that we be watching, the reality shows are putting so much of an emphasis on he gotta show you this, that, and the third, and it's just like that's all false because we truly fuck with you and you truly fuck with him and shit and matter. And I get it, as women we're like aesthetics, we go off aesthetics. So we do want something, but if the love is real and it's true, then it shouldn't matter because everybody was going in on this man like 14 years. Oh hell no, he would have had to.
Why?
And do people realize how fake them reality shows are?
It's scripted. It's
scripted. And I look, as somebody that used to be here, worked on on one of the shows, The Love and Hip Hop. First of all, let's keep it a buck. Even outside of that, like we know in life, they don't walk around looking like that.
No.
They don't
walk
around
like that.
And some of them still look busted with all of that on there. So it's like they're allowing what they see on TV to ruin their actual dating lives with these false expectations of what is supposed to happen. Like when I tell you guys, and this is straying off a little bit, when I tell you guys I'm so over this era of I need $500 first dates.
Why?
I'm so over this shit to the point where why?
You know what? And I'm glad you kind of brought that up.
It infuriates me because I was telling you before I met my husband, I was more content with just getting to know you. Hey, let's go to Starbucks because I'm a Starbucks freak. Shout out to Starbucks. I love Starbucks. So hey, let's go to Starbucks and see if we vibe in person and to see if we even want to continue on. And then from there, let's see what kind of dates we're gonna take. These hoes, as soon as you get a number, are you taking me to what? Can you take yourself there?
Man, and you know what? And I want him because we had talked about this before off camera. So I want him to say his views because it's like, I completely agree with you. I really do. And this is a great way to even just segue into today's conversation of intimacy double standards. Because when getting into this conversation, it's always the women that want this elaborate first date. I want you to sweep me off my feet. But the man don't even know you. But a man don't require that. They don't want.
No,
they don't want all of that.
Here's the thing, man. And a lot of times I always see just extra aggro dudes that just will go on a rant about what. My thing is this: how do I know that you worth this date? Like, how do I know that you're worth this money that I'm going to spend?
Because you got some women that are serial daters just to prove something to somebody. Like, I want to see how many dudes can take me out and blah, blah, skippy. And it's like, yeah, like who paid the most. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if your ass up for sale, sis, just say that. And just like let them line up if that's the case. Like,
and that's my thing. Like, I'm not about to pay for no big elaborate date. And then halfway through the date, I don't want to fuck with you. Like, can I bounce? And then the whole check on you.
Right. Yeah. Or we go Dutch and you just pay for what you ate and I pay for what I ate, and we can just like, hey, this isn't going to work out. Like, and which is the whole purpose of why I dated the way that I did. Like, let's like go to the park, walk around, and actually have a conversation and get to know each other. And after the second date of us doing the same thing or going to a happy hour somewhere, hey, now let's move forward because I'm actually liking to talk to you, because in between that, you guys are probably texting, we both working. So when we are able to squeeze them dates in, we can see if we were really trying to move forward with something, and then let's go for the better date. But these women want you to come out the door with $500 dates. Now, I will say this, because I don't believe everything I see, I feel like a lot of the stuff is scripted anyway, just to go viral. Oh, yeah. But to even try to promote, he got to spend $500 on a date, or he a bum, or he trash. And I'm just like, I saw a video on TikTok. This young man was so excited to go on this date with this girl. They had been talking for a while, and he was so excited. He bought her flowers. He offered to pick her up. Do you know that when he handed her the flowers, she was just like, what the fuck I'm supposed to do with these?
Oh, no, stop it.
If I find the video, I'm going to make sure I post it. And you can just see that he instantly just started to just like come down. Mm-hmm. Because he's thinking like, you know, I know that like you're supposed to like woo a woman and this and that. And he was young, like early 20s, and he was like really excited about his date. He was like, "Yo, I'm about to go on a date with you, like with Shorty." And you know, like I've been fooling her for a while. So you know what? I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm bringing some flowers. I'm going to pick her up. I'm taking care of the whole day. And she literally just like did not take the flowers. She called him corny. She called him corny, and I hate that. I love flowers.
I do too.
Flower me, baby.
I love flowers. That's like the other social media post I showed you where the chick, it was her birthday. Dude went and bought her some diamond earrings. They was tiny little diamond earrings. I don't think it said how much he spent, right?
It did.
It did. So she got upset and was like, you went and bought these earrings and you could have went and bought me this Prada that I wanted. Instead, you spent money on these earrings that I don't want. And he was like, well, I'll give you the extra, you know, to get something bigger. And she was like, well, if that's the case, you could have just brought me the product. But instead, you went out there and got what you wanted. And he called her ungrateful. Mm-hmm. And go ahead.
Now, hearing that in different, like, again, in better context, both of them are kind of stupid.
A little bit.
Because it's like, if the price is equivalent, if the price is comparable, then it's like, why didn't you just buy the shit that she wanted? Like, now you're just being an a-hole because it's like you knew she wanted this.
Because you should know your woman to know what she wants. So if you're going to do that, get her what she wants. If it's equivalent.
Yes.
If not, then it's like he did what he could.
He did what he could.
Okay.
And she should be, at the end of the day, he did what he could. He might not have been able to afford that product. And he got her these diamond earrings thinking that, hey, I want to see my girl looking nice. And it was like her response, because he was like, so you're not going to take the earrings? She was like, I'll take them and give them to my nephew.
Oh, that's ignorant.
That's ignorant as fuck. Now that's what she fucked up. That's what she fucked up.
It was like, but it's crazy because women act like that. Men, you could give them a box of cigars, and they're going to be happy.
Let me tell you, he loves tools. He told me, if you want to basically see a tear out of my eye, just buy me a box of like them. Like those expensive, like that expensive toolbox.
Toolbox. That's
what the fuck he want. Like, I feel like a lot of men are just like so like low maintenance, like not in a disrespectful, emasculating way, but like they're so low maintenance, like they just love what they like what they like.
That's why Father's Day commercials be all just fucking Lowe's and Home Depot.
Because that's what they want to do. They want to be a man. They want to build stuff. They want to tear stuff down and paint it back up. So I get it. But women, it's like, and
want that extra.
They won't be ugly as shit. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not a Birkin girl, and the way that females be raving over these Birkins, I be like, bitch, why?
In my thought process is the way these bitches be raving over these Birkins. You know what I could have did with that Birkin money?
Listen.
You know what the fuck I could have did with that money?
Paid off my car?
A lot.
A lot.
Can I just put this out there again? I'm not. You know what? I'm a your name brand, my name brand. But all that Birkin, Louis Vuitton bullshit.
Wear your own shit.
How about
I'm a walking brand myself.
How about I'm not trying to be. I'm not no white man's walking billboard. How about that?
Free advertising.
Yes.
For what?
For what? They don't even care for us. Why am I
They
going to
don't
talk about?
want us wearing it.
Come on, y'all.
They don't
Why am I
want us
going?
wearing it. Remember when that whole shit happened with Tommy Hilfiger?
Yes.
They don't even want us actually. They don't even want the urban people to even be wearing it.
All them Louis Vuitton, all of them y'all
rich. No,
that's a whole nother conversation.
It is a whole other conversation, but trust me, we're gonna get into that one day too. So the heart of this topic I wanted to get into was, I'm sure all you guys out there have heard about Drea.
Anybody need a refill real quick?
Yes.
Drea from Love and Hip Hop. Is
let's talk about it.
We don't talk about it because somebody else joined in this conversation yesterday, and I was like, ooh-wee. So Drea is from Love and Hip Hop, you guys. She initially, her first baby, I think, came from a football player. Her first baby daddy is very hidden. So now she is pregnant. She is 42. 42.
Yes.
She's 42. No, I'm just. And the guy that she is now pregnant with is this very new NBA player that is 22. Hey, what's his name? Jalen. And then to add to it, that joined this conversation, we all know Jolie, Bow Wow's baby mama.
Mm-hmm.
She is now pregnant with baby number 3.
Yeah.
And she has quite a lineup too.
But we don't know what baby that number 3 is though. She's not really yet.
Oh no, it is. It's a football player.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's this little football player she been running around, who is also in his 20s. And she is well into her 40s. So what really got me onto this conversation was the actress. I think it was the chick that played Rudy from Cosby. Okay, I think she made a post. It might have been somebody else if I'm wrong, but she made a post and she hit the nail on the coffin. She said, "Listen, why y'all so worried about where this little boy's mom is at, and why is he with this woman who is 40?" I said, she was like, you got to remember, when Drea was on Love and Hip Hop, this little boy was a little boy probably sitting there watching Love and Hip Hop or Love and Basketball, watching Drea on TV, fiending for this woman. Okay. So when he got the opportunity, what man ain't about to shoot that shot for the woman that you have been sitting next to your mama watching since you was a kid?
But see, I feel like that's only an assumption, though. And even if that is true, if he was, so what, that means he was, in elementary school?
Yes. He was little. He was little watching Love and Hip Hop.
Now, the reason why this strikes a chord with me is because I am a boy mom.
Yes.
So, because I'm a boy mom, and because I am speaking greatness into his life, I know my son is going to be something. Women are going to trap or try to stay relevant with these young kids and stay young. Now don't get me wrong, as men I get it, y'all don't care about what we care about. Y'all just trying to hit something, I hit Miss Parker. I'll see that ass. Y'all don't care about stuff like that. But as a mom, I do not want my son impregnating a woman in her 40s and his life is just getting started. He's really not even ready for no kid. And I understand that we have a lot of people that have, had their kids young and things of that nature, but you weren't really even ready. So why are you forcing that or keeping that generational curse going? This boy is 22 years old, about to have his first kid with a 40-something-year-old woman who has a son
old enough to be his mom.
Old enough to be
his the same age as him.
Yeah, that's the disgusting part. Yeah. So can I throw y'all back on a little history about Drea and why it disgusts me so bad?
Yeah, go ahead.
Rudy, stop it, girl. Because you done went through some stuff with that dang on.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about Drea because Drea's oldest son, the stuff that he went through because she wanted to trick around town, left him for a month to go chill with Chris Brown.
Yep. Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
He left him with microwave before.
And it's no judgment, but at the same time,
it is judgment because that ain't right. You left the 8-year-old alone for weeks.
Yeah.
To go kick it with Chris Brown.
Yeah. That's not.
You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about the second son. I'm gonna stop right there on the first one. The second son. So he comes to her, needing help with homework. What does she do? She get mad about it, go on social media and go off. I wish she'd leave me alone. What is this? Why are you asking me to help you with homework?
Wow.
Don't you have a teacher?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Hey, look. That's that one, right? So now this third one. Okay. First of all, she old enough to be his mama.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? 2, same age as your son. 3, you're a trick. You're a trick, and you just looking for extra income so you can continue to sit back and do nothing.
That's definitely a money grab.
3, this on a personal note. Them maternity pictures she took, she looked like an avatar, but I digress. And then 4, you know what I'm saying? It's just a lack of disrespect for life altogether. Yeah, this boy probably slobbed over her. What little boy? What little boy? What? You know what I'm saying? But what excuse is that for her?
I mean, she looks good, and I mean, you're appealing to the eye, but it's just
it's wrong. Like when do we start checking in on morals again and stuff? Yeah. Especially as a culture. You know, and then the most important thing, and I'm gonna let you have it. I'm so sorry.
No, you good.
If it was a man, we'd be tripping.
I want to get to that, but I think taking out the whole pregnancy thing. Let's just take that out the picture. It's a 21 or 22 year difference. Mm-hmm. That is 22 years of life that she has lived way longer than this little boy.
Mm-hmm. And she manipulated the situation.
They manipulated it because she has that life experience that this poor little boy has not even had yet. It's like the likelihood, and I'm not nothing against him. I don't know. I don't know his story, but the likelihood of him even staying together,
they're not.
I don't even think they're together.
I think it was just like a fling that lasted too long, and he busted a good nut. Like, let's be for real. I don't even think they're actually in a real relationship.
Right.
I think he's hot right now because he plays basketball. She's an old school vixen, and
he all that is basketball.
I don't even know what team he plays.
I just know he played basketball. Honestly, like, to be completely honest with you, I just know he played basketball. Yeah. And she just wanted the bag. Like, let's be for real.
After old girl, what's her Brittany Renner, whatever the fuck her name.
Brittany.
That came.
Because she got a baby by baby.
Yeah, and it's like. After her type of situation, it's one of those like, hey, you gotta take all that with a grain of salt, because it's like you can't tell me that you're not coming in that with ulterior motives.
No,
and you somebody that's very well aged out of your profession, out of what you get paid for. So like all you got really is just fucking some young dude and just like hoping that you can get pregnant for it.
Yeah, because that's Nikki baby got a baby by one of the Balls, what like one of the Ball brothers.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, isn't he like way younger than her too?
Yeah, I think so, and that's the same with Jolie. It's like her lineup is impeccable because it's like you've got Bow Wow, you got a baby by Future, and now you got a baby by this footballer or basketball player. It's like you are setting yourself up to make sure you are good.
You gonna live off them kids forever.
You living off them kids forever.
Yeah, that ain't right.
Look, if you think about it, the other two is aging out.
Yeah.
So you gotta start over again. Yeah. They're aging out.
Yeah.
So let me start this bag over.
Because the daughter's starting to make her own money. Because she acting and all of that stuff. So she's starting to make her own money.
You know, Chris Brown is really heavy behind that. Like, no, we're going to set her aside for you.
Yeah. No, this Bow Wow, not Chris Brown.
Oh, yeah, Bow Wow.
I know it's close.
But, yeah, because he got a baby by, like, a cougar, too. But, I mean, like I said, as a boy mom, I personally would not be okay with my son, you know, looking at a woman that's my age, being with my son, because, you know, I'm an old mom. So if my son come to me with a 40-something-year-old girlfriend, I'm just looking like, really? This is what we doing?
Yeah, I would be so weirded if my son came
Because he don't
home.
even know what love is. He only know what he envisions it to be. He really don't know what love is. He just busting a nut. He a young kid. Let's be for real.
He's just excited.
You got a fat ass, a slim body, you cute. You know, I mean, everybody done been with you, so I want to be with you too. So it's like he don't really know. So I am gonna feel away. Like, why are you with my son?
Yeah, and it's expected. And it's like as a mother, the first thing you think about is what do you have to offer this grown woman? Nothing. Hell,
real quick.
Go ahead.
Crazy double standard that we didn't even mention. They never even talk about dudes that do the same thing.
I was about to bring that up.
Just talking about,
I was gonna bring up Drake.
But not even just Drake. Like with Janae Aiko's dad, who was like 75 or some shit, that had a kid with like a 33-year-old, and it's like, that is a clear, like, 40 damn near year difference.
Man, that's like that actor, Who was it, Al Pacino? Who is
he's like 83.
Robert De Niro. No, he's like 90. Isn't he 90?
No, he's like
80 something.
Yeah.
And just had a newborn baby with this 60-year-old woman. Neither one of y'all should have been procreating. Neither one of y'all.
First and foremost.
Ain't even gonna see that kid through high school. Like,
he ain't gonna see nothing against you, De Niro, but you ain't about to see this kid make it through elementary school.
Come on now.
You not gonna make it.
And I had an uncle first that was 72 and got a 30-some-year-old woman pregnant. Yeah, unfortunately, like that baby was 3 years old when he left up out of here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All you gonna do is hear stories about
you ain't gonna be able to run, do nothing. Catwalk, dog, nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Like, he's gonna know his dad as well as I know his dad.
Okay. That is exactly right. And it's crazy
right there.
Even walking, because y'all know me and Skip are 6 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
And even walking into the I don't think I'm at cougar status yet. I think you gotta be 50 to be a cougar?
No, so no.
The age gap gotta be way bigger though.
So I think cougar you had to be in your 50s, since you were in your 40s, you're a Puma.
I'm a Puma. Yeah, I don't think the age gap has to be different. I think it's just where you at. Bigger. No, I don't think it has to be bigger. It's just as long as it's a nice. I'm a Puma.
I'm a cougar.
You see, how old are you and your husband? What's the age gap?
50 and 48.
So what is that?
Oh,
yeah. I even walking in, I remember me and him had this conversation because it's like, even though it's 6 years, it's still 6 years more of life that I've experienced that he is still having to, catch up with. Mm-hmm. I think the difference that made me feel a little better about Skip and the age difference is because Skip lived a very old man life at a very young man age. So it was like he was already out here in the clubs at 12 and stuff, DJing with his dad. He was already out here drinking and traveling with his brother. And so he got to experience, he experienced more life than me. And I'm older. But that's what made me feel a little bit okay. Do I at times see the age difference in how we look at things? Yes.
That's what I was going to ask next. Like, do you see the age difference in the relationship?
At times, how we look at certain views, yes, I do see the age difference. But then it also comes down to, I see the age difference. I see the way we grew up, the parenting style. All of that definitely plays of a different outlook on how we look at things at times. Mm-hmm. So it's like, definitely. So if I see that at 6 years, bitch, I know you seeing it at 22.
No, for sure.
That little
you have clear adult memories.
Yeah.
Before this motherfucker was born. Like,
man,
that's such a stretch.
Do you know how bad that hurt? You know how many times he'd say, "Oh my God, I was this age," and he'd be like, "Hey man, fuck you."
No, so it's funny. So even though B isn't that much older than me, he's 44, I'm 38. A lot of times he'll be talking to me like, "Yeah, because you remember when." Was going. Like I was in elementary when that was going on, bro. So I don't know, because like he loved old school hip hop. Mm-hmm. So when he was like he'd be sitting up there jamming and he'd hear something and he'd be vibing out. He's like, "Yeah, because you remember when I was like, bro, no, I wasn't even allowed to listen to that. What are you talking about? Like, listen, I can't. I be having to remind him I'm still technically like a tenderoni.
Hey, listen, I definitely be having to remember that. And when he tells people the year of his year he was born, it'd be like,
which is what.
1990.
Yeah. Do you like that?
Listen.
Can I wear that?
I know where I was at 1990.
At 90, I was definitely going to Elmira Elementary School.
I was at Eastwood Elementary.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all were in elementary school. Y'all wasn't out here like losing your virginity. Like, that's what I was. You just, and let's be real, guys. Like, it's like I've been around people that way like. That's what I'm saying. It's like, no, I've dealt with women that actually I have had somebody tell me some kind of adult story, and it's like, yeah, I was like 4. Like,
oh my God.
Like, yeah, this is weird. That's why I don't get that from the dude perspective. It's like, it feels so weird at times for somebody to be sharing adult stories from when you were a child. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's interesting to hear it, but I don't think I could deal with it as an all the time type of thing. because it would make me feel a little bit emasculated. Like, if it was that big of a gap, like, we're fine.
Yeah, we're fine. But the 22-year gap, that's
a big one, and I think that's why it's such a big deal with Drea and her now child's father. It's like it's so big of an age gap. It is, which is what also made me want to bring up the Drake situation because he supposedly is now dating Hennessy, Cardi B's sister.
Oh wow,
and she's 21.
See, I heard he was dating
who's she
sister.
So from what I've been seeing and reading, Drake is now in cahoots with Hennessy, which is, and she just turned 21 or is 21, and Drake is like, what, late 30s, early 40s?
I think you meant Lotto's little sister.
No, they said that he was
Henny older than 20.
Yeah, Henny older than, yeah.
Okay, so
it's Lotto's little sister.
So then maybe the sources that I'm reading had it wrong because they definitely said it was Cardi's sister, but it could be somebody else.
Because I read that too.
At the end of the day, it's like, we know, men are kind of like, they like the little young things.
Yeah.
And that's all we ever know. So when we see it with women doing it, it's almost like, oh my God, like, what did she see in a young man? Because when I was like 16, 17, 18, I wanted the older men because I felt like they were mature.
It all depends on the who. Because you know who has been getting away with that on and off for years? J-Lo.
Yes. But
like,
you know who I thought?
Every time she ping pongs with a dude around her age, she'll go, and after that shit break up, she'll go with some young
dancer.
Some nigga you never heard of. But that's how she do it. It always be a nigga you never heard of.
You never heard of. But what's crazy is that we make such a fuss with the women. But Russell Simmons, how old was Kimura when they got married? She was what? 17?
No, so when they officially got married, they were 17, but she finally came out and said that he had been looking at her since she was 14.
Yeah.
Like, he first initially, and like I said, this is just based off of resources. She stated, or it was stated, that she was 14 when he first approached her and expressed interest.
Yeah.
And I'm like, 14? You hold 30-something years
old?
He
was a whole grown ass
man. You was grown.
Grown, and
you was off the porch and built the porch by the time you stepped to her.
Fat Farm is that what he had? Fat Farm was had blown up while this little girl was still in high school wearing his Fat Farm.
Def Jam was Def Jam.
Def Jam was Def Jam.
Yes. So she was 14 when he initially first, approached her, but they didn't come out with their until she was of age, but he had been dealing with her. But with that being said, like, let's be fair. Let's not just keep it on our brothers. Let's think about Celine Dion and her husband. Because Celine Dion was 12 when she met her husband. And he had started grooming her from then. Now, if you watch the documentaries, she said, I first met my husband at 12, and I fell in love with him by the time I was 13 or 14, and I waited till he got divorced. Now, let's be for real. Is that really what happened to Celine?
Probably not. But do you know how disturbing that is to hear that she met her husband at 12?
She met her husband at 12 years old, and he was full-fledged married.
Oh, my God.
And this is how you know that he was a little bit of a perv, because as soon as he met her, he put his all into her to the point where his wife even suspected, like, you have never looked at one of your artists like this. Why are you so infatuated with this little girl? Yeah. And sure enough, he divorced the wife. And it's only speculated, but they feel like he started dealing with her when she was around 14 or 15, but they didn't come out with their love till she was 17. And they got married when she was 18. But she first met him when she was 12, because that's when she made her first record.
So I got a question. I understand that this is a whole trifling situation because of the age in itself. But two questions. Where was her parents? And I got an issue with it. Maybe this isn't a question, just a statement. I got an issue with it because she want to come out with it now, but you ain't had no problem with it then, sis. Understand what I'm saying? Like, stop.
But and that's
because you didn't have a problem with it all these years. Now you mad about something, and now you want to come out because are we watching Kimura unfold?
Yeah.
What happens is
something that triggered Kimura because this was never a problem. I mean, this was never a problem until recently.
So but he didn't want to have a baby fat.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is like sometimes what happens is, and that's what is like one of the double-edged things with the Me Too movement. Is like sometimes what happens with a lot of these people is like, once you've experienced some type of success, you feel like bringing this up and bringing this out would somehow jeopardize your success and jeopardize your future. And it's like, that's what keeps a lot of people under, you know what I'm saying, without saying something, because it's like, hey, if I say something, they're going to take everything away from me. You know, I ain't gonna have nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like that's what kind of.
I feel like it's to stay relevant because I don't like how she keeps randomly speaking on the Diddy situation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like how she's randomly just speaking on because she had something to say about Usher going to see Russell over in Tibet or Thailand or something.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you? Why? And now it seems like you're a scorned stalker.
Yeah.
Why are you constantly? Now, I'm not saying whatever she went through, if it was traumatic, we need to address that.
Yeah, and acknowledge. Yeah,
it was the strangest post. Like, why would you even speak?
No,
you talking about Russell Simmons and Usher,
because it was
like, at his bedside?
Yeah, and it was like Usher just was sitting there and like nothing but like some little black shorts, and it was like this is how you woke up. I don't know. I'm sure women would probably enjoy that. But I don't know any dude that's gonna want to wake up to half naked Usher. Like,
no, not at all. But it's been changed about him too.
Well, we've been about Russell.
But let me speak honestly on that. Because I think that in today's society, as melanated men, y'all been put under too much pressure to prove y'all manhood, whereas others, these other races, especially Caucasians, are walking around living freely. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all was, you know what I'm saying, in our culture in the beginning, and now it's a little different, but y'all was taught that crime was for sissies and all this stuff. Y'all weren't allowed to express y'all emotions and all that. I'm just saying that because, my family went on vacation and my brother woke my husband up, in nothing but shorts and nothing else, no shirt, no shoes, nothing. Set up next to him and smoked the blunt. I'm just saying.
Let's just kick it. Yeah.
That's a blood relation. That's so weird when it's just like somebody that is a friend. And it's like, it's not even
but Russ and Usher, like my brother. I mean, it's my brother and my husband.
You're right.
You know what I'm
saying?
I
guess my perception of it is like just like how when you called me this morning and I was just in like a shirt looking ugly. It's like y'all should be able to have that same interaction with y'all male counterparts.
Yeah.
And the world and the society is looking at it as like, oh, that's weird, that sucks.
And the main people that do that stuff is the main ones that do it. How about that?
That actually made me think about something in a comedy session I heard. I can't pronounce his name, Akash Singh. Arab dude, he had a joke where he was talking about gaslighting. And he was saying how women would see gaslighting, and it's like as somebody hearing what you're saying, but then will know that it's true, but then like make you seem crazy about it.
Yeah,
it was like women have the same thing where it's like they can they will like you can tell them how you feel about something, and then they can make you feel gay about feeling whatever. Like you can say like, hey, that really hurt my feelings. Like that.
I hate that for you guys that you guys can't genuinely just have a bro friendship like that because it's looked at it as like suspicious or suspect. Yeah. But I do feel like Kimora is just literally on some BS for real. Because like, why you keep coming at him? Y'all been done, you've been over with, but it's like I know
3 other men since
she wants reality.
3 other men since then.
And she wants to bring her clothing line
or at least 2. She wants to bring nobody wants Baby Fat. We did not ask for that.
We did not ask for
Baby Fat to come back. Okay. And I feel like to stay relevant, you have to create or plant these seeds of drama where it's not necessary. And it's like, Kimora, you're older, you're older, you're washed up, you're disrespectful to their dad now. And I'm feeling like, why are you doing that? Why are you constantly bringing this man up? He's been done. He don't talk on you. He don't speak on you. He's on to the next 20-something.
And when she was with Himansu, like, he's my best friend. I love having a dad that I could be friends with, and look at what our daughters, woo, 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 and all of a sudden.
Now all of a sudden it just changed. So something triggered her because even when she's speaking,
he didn't want to give her back Baby Fat
or something.
Is that what it probably was? It?
And
she went on.
But
and
I hate that.
We don't want it.
It was cute.
It was cute then.
It was cute.
In the moment.
Yes.
When I was
that and apple bottom. They were.
When I was 21,
they were.
I'm a 30-something-year-old stallion now. I don't want Baby Fat.
You don't want fat on your booty no more.
I don't want fat on my booty. I did that. I get that BBL, but
hood signifier. Like it was like as soon as you see that, just she's from the hood.
Like,
it's associated with urban life, and it's like and it's no shade, but it's just like in our grown ass ages, we too big for that now, sis. Like, let's move on. Something for baby fat. I'm a 38-year-old woman. I don't want nothing that says baby fat across my titties.
I'm past that point.
I don't want that. I'm past that. And to be completely honest with you, I don't even want to see my nieces in nothing that says baby fat no more. So let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
So I got a question for you. Why is it such an uproar? Because when women do it, date the younger man, but men don't get that same uproar.
I think they do. I think men get it worse, and that's why I'm tripping on people trying to defend Drea with her situation. Because men are always getting dragged for.
And I think it's time to start dragging women. Because
it is.
They're just
like child support.
Like I feel like they're just that. I feel like it's just as guilty. I don't like the fact, and because I'm a realist, I do not like the fact that women are getting a slap on the wrist. Like when I see all of these teachers humping on their students.
Yes.
Why is it that Miss Kim is getting a slap on the wrist, but Mr. John is getting thrown up under the bus? No, she needs to go up under the jail too. Because why are you humping on this little 14-year-old boy?
And getting pregnant.
Yes.
And getting pregnant.
I saw this. Get off my son. You hear what I'm saying?
I saw this court case, y'all, and the judge asked her, well, what did you see in this little boy at the time? Oh, he was mature. She like mature.
Mature.
Mature about this little boy.
He was funny.
I think that they're living out. I think that they're living out some weird fantasy that they didn't experience in high school.
Come on,
the it girl in high school.
Like R. Kelly.
The boys didn't like her in high school, so now that she's this teacher and she's found her grown woman. And come on, let's be for real. And I'm sure you had teachers that you probably looked at her and was like, damn, you know, Miss Mary, she's good. You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, you don't want her humping on your kid. No. You're supposed to lust after you. Like, it happens. Yeah. But to actually engage in that, it's like, no, you're fulfilling some weird ass fantasy that you didn't get to experience in high school.
Freaking weirdo.
You're literally living out a fantasy that you didn't get to live out in fantasy, and you're ruining these little boys' lives. Like, and the funny thing is it's really not funny, but these little boys are extorting these teachers. Yeah. Well, if you don't give me an A, I'm about to show all these pictures.
Yeah.
If you don't give me them new Jordans, I'm about to show these videos. And as a matter of fact, I want that new PS5. What you gonna do? Or I'm going to the superintendent.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Yeah.
So it's like you're being extorted. I saw a case also where this woman was talking about how her 14-year-old student, she was going through something, and she just texted her student. Mind you, he was 14 and it was 1 o'clock in the morning. What? Why are you texting my son at 4? Like, why are you texting my son at 1 o'clock in the morning? So then the judge asked her, or the interviewer asked her, like, well, what do you think was going to happen when you invited this 14-year-old boy to your house at 2 a.m.? Mm-hmm. She was like, well, he was just supposed to come over and comfort me. He's 14.
He was supposed to come over.
I think she's like 28. So when she comes to the door with her lingerie on. So they said, well, why did you answer the door in your lingerie? She was like, oh, well, I already had that on. Now, let's be for real. As women, we only wear lingerie for one reason. When we know little Tyrone about to come over, you take that quick whole bath real quick. You put on your best Bath and Body Works, and you go and you wait for him to show up at the door. You knew what you were doing. So when she answered the door in her little negligee, she talked about some, so we started talking and he gave me a massage. Miss Ma'am, you instantly he came through the door and y'all went up to your room. First you knew what was going to happen, and the only reason why that came out is because he wanted some money and she didn't want to give it to him. So he was like, okay, guess what? Well, now I'm about to not only send your picture to my friends, but now I'm about to go to the principal. And now she's up here looking stupid.
First off, I gotta ask 2 things. Is Catch a Predator not on the air anymore?
No,
that even sounded like a scene.
No, it's actually not. There's a whole story behind it. One of the dudes that got caught killed himself.
Oh, wow.
And that's why they took
it off the air. Because that sounded like a straight scene out of Catch a Predator.
And then the strangest thing, and she didn't see nothing wrong with her over Lulu. Like, she was like, well, he was mature. He's 14.
He's 14. And second off, you're 14. Coming out at 1 in the morning. Where the fuck is your parents at?
Yeah, that part. He snuck out the house, but guess what though?
I'm saying, like, when he left, you ain't never snuck out your house.
He snuck out the house. He said I snuck out the house, and then the judge said, well, how she said that it just happened, and they were like, well, no, because if you look at the text messages when he left, you asked him, did he enjoy himself, and when could you get that again? Miss Ma'am. So how are you sitting up there talking about something? It was a one time thing. No, you were already trying to set up the next one. You predator.
Could you imagine picking up your kid phone and seeing that text in there?
I'm joking. Hold on. Let me tell you, because I know Boogie's gonna be something else, and I'm already. I tell B all the time, I'm already prepped. But at the same token, I don't even want to imagine what these little girls are going to be saying or that these women are going to be saying.
Listen,
that's such a hard position to be in as a dad. That's such a hard position
because you want to be like, yeah, son.
And you want to because it's like you want to be able to condemn what they did, but at the same time, it's just like, I mean, good job, though.
No, let me tell you. So B says it all the time. He was like, it's hard. And I said, what you mean? He was like, because as your mom, he's like, as a mom, I understand you're mad.
Yeah.
But as a dad, I'm on the sideline, I'm like, son.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, but see, no, because this is a 20-something, 30-something teacher, and my son is 15 years old. There is no way that this woman should be humping on my 15-year-old son. Because now she pop up pregnant, I'm whooping her ass.
No, that's the kind of stance you have to take on it. It's
Mary
like,
Kay Letourneau.
it's one of those you don't, because it's like at the same time you don't want to just shit on him for like doing it, but at the same time you want to be like, hey, no, it was wrong. You were definitely being manipulated by this person. Like, you weren't. Don't think for a second that you had the upper hand in the situation.
And she really don't even like you for real, bro. She just wants you for your youth.
Honestly.
That's
she wants you because of the dude in her life that you remind her of.
Yeah, she can't manipulate a grown man, and like she can't do this same manipulation. With
she couldn't get me like that. Like,
no, because you're not going to be turned on by her house, by her job, by her career. Because a lot of men are just as well off as the women, so it's like a pissing match between the male and the female species. But if you looking at this little young boy who looking at you like, oh, she got a fat ass, she got her own house, and she like me, yeah, she's using that situation again. She living out some weird ass fantasy because she didn't experience this in high school,
right?
And then or the man that she wanted in her life didn't see value in her, so now she wants to go for somebody that she manipulated the situation.
It finds value all because it's really
which is why she can catch these hands.
A teenage clout. Because all it is he can go back to his friends and be like, hey man, I'm fucking Miss Johnson.
Or no, better yet, he's sending the pictures in the group chat.
Yeah, in the group chat.
Videos to the group. That's how these teachers are
getting
getting caught.
Nothing. Yeah.
No, that's how the teachers are getting caught because the pictures are getting circulated amongst his friends. And now, and I don't know if you remember, but when all of this first really started happening a few years back, a teacher was honest. It's not funny, guy. But a teacher was actually forced into having like threesomes and gangbangs because the little boy was basically saying, well, if you don't do me and my friends, we're going to the principal. So she was like forced almost to like start having orgies with her students, with her male students, just so it wouldn't come out. So it started out with the 1-year little boy. So then he was like, well, my friend little Mikey, he wants some too. Like, no, this is just between me and you. Well, if you don't, I'm going to go to the principal. So now she's topping off him and the boy in the backseat of the car. And so now it turned into now she got 5 little boys in a group chat where she got to send videos, she got to send pictures. And now I think she had like 2 orgies with him because just to keep it under wraps, and to the point where they were just like, well, this is getting bored. Like, I think one of the little boy's parents had found his phone and saw that this is what was going on. And then she tries to play victim and was like, oh, well, I was being extorted. Well, man, you shouldn't have humped him in the first place. It all started out with you just humping him.
And you know what's crazy? I remember back when I graduated in 2002, we ain't had no attractive teachers like that. We had an attractive sub. He came in, he was young, he was the substitute. All my teachers was old as shit.
No, we definitely had attractive teachers.
You had attractive teachers?
I had only one and he was our African American lit teacher. I don't want to say his name because I want to be weird. But he was definitely, I feel like he was a Kappa. And he used to always talk about his frat life. And he was at the time in school to be a lawyer, and he was a teacher on the side to get through school or whatever. But yeah, he was like super dope. Like, he was your typical frat guy, very nice looking, very well put together, always smelled, really nice. And all of us, girls, like, just was infatuated with him, but I didn't envision myself humping on him. Like, he was our teacher.
We had Mr. Wilson.
I was just about to say, the only person we was ever really infatuated with growing up was Don Shine. And shout out to Don Shine and Sean,
like,
you already know that.
He looked like that since forever. Like, I seen here, but my sister graduated with him. That nigga looked like that.
That man never like, he ain't. That man you just fine wine. I had to tell Kira's best friend when he took over Warrensville Band. She was like, "Oh, he is gorgeous." I said, "Listen, he's been gorgeous since I was 16."
And that's why.
Okay,
that man. If I heard them kind of stories about him, I'd truly be shocked. Because I'd be like, no way, this man, no way.
You've held it down this long.
This man can get whatever he wanted out here, man. Like, no way. No way is he manipulate kids.
His PTA of mothers is high just because of how he looks.
Just because they want to come there and just to talk to him about their kid. How you doing?
I wanted to be a part of the alumni band just let me listen. This is a high school. I told Skip, just let me have the little bit.
Now, I will say this. I did hear stories. I guess I wasn't cute back in the day, but I did hear stories that when I was going to Patrick Henry, I can't remember his name, but he was our track coach. I heard that he was on some trash with a lot of the girls on the track team. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was actually, from what I heard, like, caught in situations. So, trust me, it's been going on for years, but it wasn't as, out in the open as it is now. So back then, I heard that he had got caught up with, like, 2 or 3 of the young ladies from the track team.
Because what happens...
But he wasn't even cute, though. He was just a trick.
But, like, what happens with dudes, though, is it'd be so much more pronounced because it's like, women be having dad issues, man.
That's it boils down. Exactly. It boils down to daddy issues.
They more prone to act on it than it's like, ain't too many dudes with like mom issues that deep where they're gonna be trying to go after their
But also think about it, the men are tricking though.
Yeah.
So they're able to get these girls because they come in with the coin.
Mm-hmm.
So let's be for real, because like I said, the track teacher that I'm talking about, he was not good looking at all. He had an afro, a busted ass Cadillac, but he had money. Mm-hmm. So he was able to get these girls because he's paying for the hair and nails to get done. He's paying for the cell phones. He's paying for the outfits. He's helping them get their first car. Mm-hmm. The women aren't doing that. The women are literally solely getting by on their looks.
Yeah, that's it.
But the men, they got to pay to play.
Yeah, and that's why it's not so much of a fuss made about those women that do that, because there's still people that want to fuck them out here. That's why they can get away with it. Like,
so I kind of want to. I'm sticking with the double standards. I know, Miss Marie, you watch sports, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, Q, I know you don't, but it's a fashion thing, and Skip, I know you do. I don't know if you guys remember back in a couple months ago that basketball coach that came out, and it was an uproar because she coaches college basketball.
Okay.
And they have an undefeated record for years. But the uproar was what she was wearing. Because she was coming out in these fitted suits, and she was a thick madame. Mm-hmm. Very curvaceous, beautiful lady. Did you see that, Miss Marie? Mm-hmm. Very beautiful lady. Mm-hmm. But because she was wearing these suits and these skirts and these dresses, they were hating on her. And I had gotten to this debate on Facebook because it's like, you don't hear people get... That's somebody calling this phone. You don't hear people getting an uproar about how men coaches dress, but because this woman who has a very nice ample booty and is out here in high fashion, it's a problem. Why is that? Why is it like that? Because what she wears does not take away from what her job
like they want the women to be modest, because the men only wear suits or they wear their track suits or something.
Or they wear like a polo or some shit.
And they gotta realize, women, again, like we were saying like earlier, we go off of aesthetics. Like, we want to look our best. Yeah. And I don't know who you guys are talking about, but if she was built like that, she knows what she's working with, so I'm gonna flaunt it. But that doesn't take away from her coaching skills.
Yeah, but she won't flaunt it though. She was wearing.
Yeah, she was still concerned.
She can't help the fact.
She was modest.
Yes.
It was,
boom.
Yeah, she just had the asset.
What they want her to do, put on a Maid Mary dress, and she can't hide it.
Yeah. So in other words, somebody's wife had a problem with it.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what it was. They was mad because they didn't have a badonk and they didn't have a shave and they still got caught looking.
Or they was forcing the kid to play on the team even though he was sorry, and it was like, why do you keep forcing him to play?
Yeah.
Well, I think that the team, he getting a lot of value out of being out here and playing out here for the coach does a lot for the kid. Oh, she do a lot, all right.
It was crazy. It's just like that elementary school black teacher that had came out. Remember, I think she was a kindergarten or first grade teacher.
Oh yeah, she was thick.
She was thick. She was thick. I would have passed out cookies in her class. I would have been in classroom helper.
So, but here is
how come you would have been like that until she got too friendly with me, and then you would have been like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where it's like the double standard of women being able to like look at women in that kind of same appeal, where it's just like dudes don't have that, where it's just like we can instantly shut that off and like, hey, fuck that nigga, like where it's like women like y'all still. I mean, damn, she is like, and y'all will give her a pass off the looks where it's like we don't give each other pass on shit. Like
no.
Now,
and like that's kind of just a little bit.
That particular teacher, I remember when that whole situation went viral. I do feel she was pushing the envelope a lot, though. Like as a teacher, I feel like you should have some kind of decorum. And I feel like, you are built. You're built.
Yeah, she was built.
She was built.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, and me being a girl's girl, yes, it's rock.
Yeah, I love every bit of it.
In the schoolhouse, I do think that you need to be a little bit more, pull it back a little bit.
Because
you get what I'm saying? Like, you got the badonk, you got the flat stomach, you got the bosoms. I feel like a lot of the stuff that she was wearing, you need to pull it back a little bit.
But here's another
too
dimension.
form-fitting to be around kids.
Okay,
but give us a little more.
Another dimension to think about.
Okay.
You don't also think about the lives of children, because it's like I had reflections on back to my childhood where it was just like, oh no, I was exposed to sex way too early. You know, like I remember seeing porn and stuff like that at like 5 and 6 and shit. You know, like I remember the first time seeing a vagina in person was like I was like 8. I was like 8. It was like a little neighbor girl had showed it, and it was just one of those things. Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like you don't know what could be triggering for a kid, even at that young of age.
Yeah,
and it's like, you know what I'm saying? You dress that way can make them have like impulses and make them feel a type of way that they don't even understand.
And start having to act out inappropriately.
Yeah.
And which is why I say she needed to have pulled it in a little bit. Like, we get it. You built like a brick house. But
tell me down a little.
Yeah.
I think the situation could have been handled differently.
Yeah,
I definitely do think so too, because you're right. I mean, if my son, he's in the first grade, if I'm going and his first grade teacher's out here just dunk all in,
like, what are you trying to show that sex appeal for? Like,
in school. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a realist, and men, my husband, your husband, y'all have eyes. Y'all gonna look. We get that, so that honestly doesn't bother me. But for children, I feel like it's just a little bit, let's not overstimulate them. Let's not overwhelm them with unnecessary, like, we already have an issue with the extra pronouns, and you want to be a dog one day, a dinosaur one day, a girl the next day. We already got a problem with that. Let's not overly introduce them or overly sexualize them too soon.
Yeah.
They're already going to see that you got ass and titties, but let's not just overly do it.
But here's the thing. How come nothing said when a man comes to work or school with the form-fitting shirt on and he's muscular?
I've never seen that, though.
You don't see that even as much.
It might be the gym teacher and he's only dressed like that for gym. I personally never seen teachers like that. That's why I'm not saying that. So,
but
I
it's
can't
like,
say
even
that.
To take it back, it's just like, listen, man, you know Mr. Wilson built like he put together. I've never once seen him in nothing form-fit, nothing like.
Now I have a problem if he start coming to school in gray sweats. You know, that's a big thing.
Yeah,
that would be a thing. But again, we don't see the men doing that. If you do see a tighter fitting shirt, I don't feel like it's done all the time. He may have been feeling himself that day, but it's never to the point like, ooh, girl, did you see his pecs? Like, no, we don't care about shit like that. But women who we are going to naturally gravitate to because they got ass and titties, it's like, it's so different. The men are more so wearing like their suits, they're dressing like the kids to make them feel more approachable. But we don't ever have that problem out of men because the men are just men. We don't really care about all of that. But women, you know what you were doing when you put that on.
Yeah.
That's the difference. You knew what you were doing when you put that on. You want that extra attention, and I feel like for second, third, fourth graders, lady,
that is definitely a lot. I mean, I still would be, the teacher helper.
Yeah.
But should stipulations be put in place for things like that for men and women, or just because right now it's looking like they're just putting these stipulations on the women coaches and
because
the women teachers
the women
and stuff
are
like that.
Pushing the envelope. I feel like the men aren't doing that because if you really look, I don't watch sports, but I've never seen a male coach out of the ordinary. He got on either his like tracksuit or he got on his suit and he's being, hey, he's coaching. The women that are coming out, I mean, I'm a girl's girl, so yes, I'm gonna always tell you, rock it. But it's also, you also gotta be professional as well.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're being less professional because I haven't seen the young lady that y'all talking about. I would love to see it so I can see it and I can better view it. Yeah. But again, I feel like remain professional. And because like at my job now, we have to be business casual. So I know what pieces to mix together, what I can wear, what I can't wear. I'm not about to be rocking some mini dress and a blazer and knowing that I got some thighs out here. You know what I'm saying? Because I still have to interact with my clients and this and that and the third. Mm-hmm. But as like teachers and as coaches, you should know like what is the better. Like
she had on the full business blazer.
Oh my god!
Short, tiny shorts. All thighs. Just
it was a short blazer set. It was a blazer short set. I didn't even know. I didn't even know that.
You know what's funny? Just to give y'all just a boiled down perspective, like men's perspective on that shit, and it's just like why it sucks that it's like it has to be that way, but it's just like the fucked up thing is the real truth is men is just savages. Mm-hmm. I can speak for myself. Hey, I'm a composed dude. I know how to keep my composure. I know how to keep my shit together. I can't speak for these other niggas. This nigga down the street might rape you. I don't know.
Yeah,
right?
Like,
I can't. I'm sorry. Like, that's just the world we live in. Like,
no, you are completely right.
That's why it'd be like the argument when it's like when people try and argue, like make an argument against dudes. It's like, hey, I'm not arguing for myself. That's not the argument. Isn't for me. Mm-hmm. It is because, in all honesty, I know I'm a man and I know how we all are. I know the savagery that just run around your head, and I know how that you got to keep your composure with all that shit. Dudes, every dude ain't got that. Like, every dude don't know to not do that shit. Like,
and you are completely right. That's even like, Miss Ray, I have to tell you about this. So, the whole last show we talked about the name of the show, mm-hmm. the Intimacy Lounge, mm-hmm. and we had joked about it being the whole. It sounded like a therapy or a sex orgy. So now that everything is up and running, I've been getting the weirdest freaking messages. Mm-hmm. I told Skip yesterday, a guy messaged me and was like, hey, I'm lonely. What you doing over there? I said, sir, this isn't about the podcast. I don't have nothing to talk about. Well, you said, let's get intimate. No. Pineapples. That's not what I meant. That's not. Another dude was like, hey, I'm a lonely bisexual man. Are you hitting on me and my husband now?
I feel like that comes from the lack of knowledge of what intimacy actually means.
Yeah. And that's what made
intimacy does not equate to intercourse.
No,
bro.
And that's what really made me want to go with the name, because it's like every time you hear intimacy, you just think, oh, we about to get
down.
R. Kelly, a body rocking about to play in the background.
Yeah, you about to be swinging from chandelier.
Yeah, no,
that's not what this is.
Have an intimate conversation. Mm-hmm. Something very like how some of the stars, like Usher said he liked doing his Vegas residency because it was intimacy with his fans and being able to get closer.
Intimacy can be you and your spouse, your mate, just sitting on the couch, across from each other, just either in conversation, reading a book, meditating,
just staring deep in your eyes.
Man, it could be both of y'all just looking out two different windows.
Like literally an intimate moment. Maybe that's what you should do. Maybe you should do like a little definition at the bottom where people can understand, for those who don't know, what intimacy actually means. It has almost nothing to do with the actual act of intercourse.
No,
it's deeper. You can be mentally intimate with somebody. That's why people say about emotional cheating. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Because they were able to connect with you intimately on a different level.
That's why I don't believe in work wives and work husbands.
I tell my husband all the time, work what? Work who? No. No, she can't bring you nothing. No.
I don't have those.
You can't eat it.
Don't like me.
Mm-mm. No, because now me and you we go
way back. We go way back.
We go way back. We work in emergency.
Yeah.
Them work wives and work husbands turn into side chicks and side niggas real quick. They turn into misters and mistresses up in there, breaking up whole families.
Yeah.
I don't play that. I never played that. I never thought it was cute. And I used to be like, when I first heard work husband, I was working in emergency. And I was like, what's a work husband? They were like, girl, somebody that you just really vibe with and click with when you get to work. It's like your husband. And I was like, oh, that's a thing. Like, are they together? Are they dating? No, she married and he married. But when they get here, like, they just talk about their... No.
Mm-hmm. That's how
you crossed the line already.
Because
why are you discussing anything that goes on in your household with somebody outside your household?
Yeah.
No. Go home and talk to your wife.
Yeah.
Go home and talk to your husband. That's how cheating starts, because y'all in there overly confiding in these work wives and work husbands, which causes these extramarital affairs and relationships. No, I don't play the work wife or husband. I never had one, never wanted one, never thought it was cute. Because I feel like that's honestly a setup for failure.
Mm-hmm.
That's set up for failure. Why do you need that?
Why do you need it? And you know what? I think I'm gonna post this question, and maybe you post it on your page, and see what more feedback we get. I would like to see what you guys feedback for work wives and work husbands. I've never had that. I've had the guys that like me or whatever, but never the whole, oh yeah, this is my work husband. Nah.
Unacceptable.
Yeah,
I never got down with that.
Yeah, unacceptable.
I never got down with that. I never entertained it. I never thought it was cute. I never thought it was funny.
Even single me didn't like that shit.
I
don't like. Listen, as soon as you try and put some type of thing on me, now I gotta be obligated to shit for you. Like, now if you sad, I gotta come and fucking
going to lunch together.
I don't feel like doing that shit.
We're not doing that.
And it's like women, especially in situations like that, will take it a step notch for more attention. Men to do shit subtle ways. Like for me, I had the guy that when I was working at South Point, he wanted to buy me lunch. He cashed out me $20. It paid for my Netflix bill for our house. I told him about it though. Hey, he heard me give my friend a cash app. He wanted to buy me lunch. He sent it. Hey, our Netflix bill is paid. But they settle shit like that, like wanting to buy you lunch. His situations be the craziest situations of women just wanting his attention. Like he was working on the line at, what job was that? Vitamix. And he was like,
he rolled his eyes like,
because he know what I'm about to say. The chick literally stopped working on the line and started stretching her leg on the conveyor belt and stretching so that she
wanted him to see
what are you stretching for, miss? If you don't put your leg
she was trying to show him how limber she was.
Oh my God. And I love my husband. It was one of the things. My husband is oblivious to women when they are hitting on him. Oblivious. It literally, I can see it go over his head.
I feel like this. It's only oblivious because he don't want to piss you off. I feel like men know when women are flirting with them. It's just that if they're not interested, they're not going to entertain it.
That's a good thing. Okay, I was about to say being oblivious would piss me off.
Yeah, because I know that you see this. Because you're not that naive that you don't see what this woman is doing. But I think out of respect, they don't entertain it. Like, I know what she's doing, but I just don't care about it. So he's not oblivious to it. It's just like he's not feeding into it. Now, if he was on trash, it would be different. But because he's not, it's almost like, I see what she's doing. I get it. She's going to stretch. She stretched 5 or 10 times an hour. I just don't give a fuck. And because he's not feeding into it, she's going to keep doing it.
I had never seen that lady do that type of shit before.
Like, she was doing it. It was just like, even when he was lifting boxes, it was one chick like, oh my God, look at you lifting that box with one hand. If you don't stop, Becky,
if you don't go.
The reason I always said he was oblivious is because when I met Skip, it was a young lady he was dealing with, but it was on a friendship level. But they were doing non-friendship things, and it was one of those like you could tell the girl liked him. But he just wasn't. It wasn't registering in his head.
Oh no! I saw under the hood and I understood you needed new carburetors.
It's like they're not as naive as you think they are. It's just that if they're not on the same page, they just don't care. Because again, like even with B, I'd be like, well, that chick was like flirting, or she a little friendly, and he had played crazy, but because I'm crazy, he eventually will be like, well, I saw what she was doing, but I just didn't feed into the bullshit. You get what I'm saying? Yes. So the men know. They just don't feed into it unless they are on the same trash that the girl is on. Yeah. It's like, trust me, they know everything. They just don't care. That's just like we know when men are flirting with us. It's just like, I got a man at home. I don't give a fuck what this man talking about. You get what I'm saying?
Dudes be way more overt with their shit though. Like, that's the difference. Like, dudes be way more overt with it. Like, they gonna approach.
So this brings me to when I was engaged to this gentleman, you know who I'm talking about. When I was engaged to this gentleman, he had a work wife. And this is when I first had really got hip to it. And I used to tell him, I don't think that the relationship is appropriate. And I used to, now me and him, and like I said, I'm batshit crazy. I used to get into full-fledged, like we about to fight for real. Like I don't like the conversation because it was like when me and him would get into it, he would run straight to work to talk to her about it. And I'm like, but you need to talk to me about it because I'm who you having a problem with.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And I used to tell him, I could tell when you started taking interest in her. And he'd be like, oh, we talking about. I was like, bro, you started putting on your best of garments to go mess with a machine. You're like, because he was a CNC machinist. Mm-hmm. Why are you wearing that to work?
Right.
Why do you have on your good Gucci guilty?
Okay.
Why do you have that on?
Yeah.
Going to work. You're going to work third shift where you're not going to see nobody till 7 o'clock in the morning.
That part.
Why do you have that on? So I told him I knew when you first started taking interest in this young lady because your behavior's changed here. Mm-hmm. So to make a longer story short, I would, because I used to be that one to go through phones. I still go through phones. I need to check everything. Well, I was going through phones and I used to see their conversation and it was never outright disrespectful, but it would be like she would text them like, hey, just making sure that you like made it home and how was your day today and things of that nature. Bitch, why are you texting him? He good.
Yeah.
He fine.
Yeah.
And then, hey, meet me. Hey, I'm going to get to work a little extra early today. Oh, okay. That's why you left out an hour early to get to work.
She getting to work.
So
early.
when him and I completely separated and broke up, guess what? They instantly hooked it up. Mm-hmm. And I said, because it was a play, he was making it seem like I was just so ungrateful and he just didn't know how to work, and she was giving him advice on how is a woman who's not even in a relationship herself getting you advice on how to keep me. I'm the best person to discuss me with. Mm-hmm. Ask me how to keep me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So then when he and I broke up, he and I still became, like, he and I didn't speak for some months. After we became friends again and almost revisited the relationship, he had told me, like, yeah, you know, I started kicking it with our girl. Nigga, you was kicking with her before we broke up, bro.
You didn't stop.
You was being disrespectful in the relationship. But come to find out, the tables had turned because she was dealing with someone else. So she had both of these dudes going head to head for her at the job. I said, see, that's why you don't shit where you work, baby. You don't do that. Yeah. Because it blew up in your face because she was trying to get in where I was at. And the whole time she was talking about you to the other man that you didn't even know about. Mm-hmm. They didn't last, obviously, but that's another reason why I don't believe in the work wife, work husband, because the whole time you up there telling all our business to this woman who I don't know, she would be all up under his heart eyes in the pictures and stuff. And you know, guys, y'all be like, oh, you feeding too much into that. It's just social media. Mm-mm. No, baby. Mm-mm. There's something behind all of that. Mm-hmm. She's trying to be seen and tell her I see her.
Yeah.
I see you. Now, please pull it back before I come see you. It was one of them type of things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, I was on some rah-rah when I was with him. Like, he had me in a whole nother headspace. That's why I tell you now, I'm too old to be dealing with drama. And I don't do the work wife, work husband thing. No, we're not doing that. Y'all can be cordial because y'all work together. But outside of that, no. Don't be discussing our relationship with women that you work with. Mm-hmm. Don't be giving advice to women that you work with about their relationships because I don't want channels to get crossed.
Yeah. The same way men, you guys don't want us talking to men about the situations going on in the house or you just things like that. It's like, oh no, we don't do that. Let's not do that. I don't know her. I don't know Becky Sue.
I don't know none of them, and I don't want you to get that comfortable with they know more about me, and I don't even know their name. Like, and that was the thing. I didn't even know the girl's name.
Did the lights just do a move?
Okay, I noticed that. Oh yeah.
I was like, did we just get extra sexy in here now towards the end of the
Oh, starting to catch the vibe.
The place was Jeez. But ultimately, I just don't get down with that. And I told him, I was like, and when I would see the conversation, he was like, yeah, she tripping again. She mad at me. And oh, well, why don't you try doing this or why don't you try doing that? And I'm just like, bro, you don't need to do that. You don't need to get that type of advice from her, bro. Talk to me. Ask me.
Yeah.
That's why I don't play around with that. And like I said, like I told you, when we work in emergency, so many marriages, and I mean 15, 10, 20-year marriages was ending because of work wife, work husband.
And it's funny because it's like I was sitting today and I was like, God, I want to be able to do a show and figure out how to tell some of those stories we saw. I'm gonna figure that out though.
Look, without violating
HIPAA. I'm gonna figure it out.
And it wouldn't even be HIPAA because they're not patients. Yeah. No, but they're not patients though. It's just that I don't want to expose their business because I was on the back end watching everything.
Just change the name to protect the identities of the innocent.
I mean, believe it or not, it's not even the names because I don't remember any of their names. I just remember the stories.
But guess what though? I know for a fact that if I started telling stories with the people that I'm still friends with on social media, they'd be like, baby, it was you.
Yeah.
It's you.
It was you.
And I knew.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, remember, nobody liked me.
I remember.
In emergency. They thought that I was a hoe. They thought I was this, that, and the other. And guess what? It wasn't even me, but the stuff that I was finding out about them, baby. So it's like, I don't want to expose, but
it's always like that too.
Them ED stories. It's like, I see why they have those shows like ER and
because it's a real thing.
It's real. It's just thing. They extra dramatize. They overly do it. But some of those, listen, I remember this real quick, and then we got to go ahead and wrap some of this up. But I remember when I was training, and I was told, it go down on the 3rd floor at night on 3rd shift. Oh, you go down to the basement. It was a little nook and cranny. It was like, hey, this is where it go down here. It's like, oh, y'all really out here just fucking at work? Like, oh, this is it.
Yeah, remember the back before it got open? Yeah. The
and I know Skip could tell some stories because he know too from where, just working at Marymount.
Listen, I remember going to a back area, storage area, where they store all the old beds and chairs and shit. And I remember somebody had a full setup of like the mattresses from the beds, like big setup on the floor with like they built a wall. Alright. They built a wall so can't nobody see them fucking over there. And it was like freshly just pillows, all that shit over there. I was like,
somebody going in there.
Yeah. So,
whereas our beautiful next sister has came in here ready for her show, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Let's first off, again, let me say thank you, Tony with the Q. Let's raise our glasses to this beautiful lady for coming on as our newest co-host, our wine enthusiast. Yes.
To many more.
To this beautiful Prosecco we had here. Let me take a second again and thank my followers for allowing me to get to 1.2K and hopefully continuing to grow. And you seeing us as the show grows and our topic grows and having more beautiful guests. Next week, I am excited. I will have my best friend on, and he is ready to tackle some things. I will have actually my best friend and my child's father's first baby mama. I'll get into that when y'all see me. It was mouthful. But I'm excited to have both of these individuals on. They are tackling some topics that Skip and Dante and Janez are really going to get into. So y'all make sure y'all tune in next week. Remember, like, share, subscribe. Come on in. Come, sit, have a sip. Let me have a sip. Get a little intimate with us. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of the Intimacy Lounge for you. As well as we are now on iHeartRadio. We are on Spotify. We are on all podcasting stream. Y'all know what I mean, streaming channels. So there's no excuse not to check this episode out. And if you better go to No Static Radio and make sure that you check out the replay of this show, the play of this next beautiful show from my BBW sister, as well as all the other shows here. You guys tune in next week, next Saturday from 11 to 1. And have some fun with me. You have a good Saturday.
Have a great Saturday.
Oh, any handles you want to share real quick?
No. So, again, next show, I will have everything up and running. Again, I want to separate business from my personal. So, give me a chance to get everything set up. I'm in the process of doing all of that with everything else that's going on. So, definitely next show, I'll have all my handles so y'all can follow me for real in real life, okay?
Yes. So we will see you in 2 weeks. Yes. Thank you, guys. Tune in. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, my Lord. I need to set up.
Miss Ray, I was trying to get Skip to read this. He pushed this. He pushed it back to me. Like,
I'm too hot. I needed to get.
And listen, here's the wine. I know. I'm gonna freshen that up this weekend, and everybody can have one.
Okay.
I don't want to be the person saying it. You know.
I gotta practice.
Girl, when is your birthday? October 28th. Really? So you're a Libra?
No, I'm a Scorpio.
Scorpio on the border.
Mm-hmm. I'm like right in the middle because Scorpio start on the 23rd.
But I'm just tripping because like every time it seems like we get together,
we just vibing
on the same shit too.
When
you got second bacon, I had second bacon.
the energy that I have.
No.
But you know what?
No, this is fine.
Yeah.
She's our co-host. This is, I'm Kiana. This is my husband, Skip.
Okay, yes.
Fancy Lounge.
Oh, I love that. I'm always about it.
And I'm Tony.
Hey. Nice to meet you all. I love it. I love good energy because I'm all about energy. Okay, so let me tell you what's going to happen. Quickly. Okay. So he going to come in. When he come in,
You want to rinse this
because
up,
I want to do March Madness. Going forward, we gonna do. You already, I told you.
I'm not taking those.
Yeah. Probably gonna leave here.
So
because I funny show.
I get them from
So he's gonna come
like
in. So
each time I do, I'm bring
okay. And so when I'm eating the chips, he gonna come in. I don't know if he gonna come in with a whistle or he gonna come in with a. Then he gonna come in and act.